really interesting lesson on Friday about judgments. And you know how we can have different perceptions or different ideas about people, or things like that. That it can be very easy that we judge on a first impression, and not even a first impression. It's our judged first impression. Yeah, it's not even the actual impression of the person. And I speak a lot in here about black clothing, and please don't wear black clothing to meditation, and yeah. So I'll speak a bit about the vibration of black, and what it can really describe, because we can have a perception that it's always negative, and it's not necessarily always negative. But if you're wearing black, it's an absorbing color, so you'll absorb all sorts of energies of what's going on around you. So unless you're in a very pure or very high vibration space, that's your only way that you'll have a good experience wearing black. Otherwise, it'll just pick up on everything, yeah? And you won't recognize why you're maybe feeling tired or feeling a bit head wrecked, or stuff like that, yeah? So sometimes we can have an impression, because of how I speak about black as a color, that people who would wear all black must be very negative. Yeah. So then I saw this beautiful woman came to see me on Friday, and she was like, she couldn't have been wearing more black. Honest to God, it was warm on Friday, but she was wearing like top to toe in black. Jacket was black. There was an inner jacket that was black too. Everything black. The whole deal black. Socks, everything. And we began a healing session, because initially I was like, all right, what's going on here? Because the black is misleading. Yeah. The black can tell you, okay, there's all sorts of disturbance, or, this kind of thing going on. So we began the healing session, and within a few seconds, I have a gift when I do a healing session, that I can scan somebody's energy, so I can see what's going on. Yeah, I get a picture of what's happening in the person, and what's the template of their energy. So in this person, I could see somebody incredibly, incredibly light. Yeah, very pure, very light energy, but was really struggling to be in this world, our world, because there's a lot of negativity everywhere, right? Yeah. And it taught me a really strong lesson about judging. It stayed with me very strongly afterwards, actually. I was thinking about it. I was like, God, I could have so easily judged her. I could have so easily, thought, or let my mind go to a place of, God, she must be really disturbed, or be really negative, or whatever. And that absolutely was not the case. So it's important how we let our mind recognize things. How we take what we learn and we apply it with a discernment. So that we don't go around with this impression that everybody that wears white is as pure as snow. Yeah, because they're not necessarily. And everybody that wears black must be terrible. They must be negative, they must be witches, they must be whatever else, yeah? This path for me, yeah, in practicing this kind of meditation, it gave me a way to be able to feel myself much more deeply, first of all, but also be able to feel other people much more deeply. And that, I can't tell you what a beautiful experience that is. Because I'm still a bit like this, yeah. I will judge myself really harshly. Yeah, and I catch it every now and then if I'm being maybe self-conscious or just negative in some sort of way in myself. And then I'm reminded of what I'm being allowed to see in other people through this work, through the practice of this mantra. Being able to see something of the essence of people, something of the soul of people. It's a very beautiful and very magical thing. So how we might judge. That old saying of, don't judge a book by its cover is really, really true. When I sit in this chair as teacher, I'm in a privileged position because I know all of you, or most of you, individually. And I know something of your stories, and I know something of your challenges and your victories, and what you're healing in yourself, or what you've healed in yourself. And that's really privileged. So I get to look at you and go, yeah, you're amazing. Yeah. But not everybody else in the room is going to know that about you. They're not going to know your victories or your challenges or what's so great about you unless you show it. Unless in some way, and this isn't about telling everybody your story, but it's about allowing this kind of victorious energy of your life story to be shown on the outside. To allow that it radiates from you in a certain way. That makes an impression on people. People will feel that and be like, oh, there's something about her. There's something about that guy. We can recognize it when somebody feels really good about themselves, or really good about their life story, or really good about how they've healed that. Yeah. There isn't anybody sitting here that hasn't had painful stuff happen. Whether it was when we were younger, or maybe it was more recently, it doesn't matter. We've all had stuff to different degrees. But our journey is how we really address that, how we give that a space. A space to be looked at, a space to be learned from, a space to be healed. But then you get to wear that. I feel it's really important to let that show in your energy what you've maybe conquered in yourself. What's something of your past trauma that you've healed that no longer has a hold over you. I think that's really important, that you let yourself wear that in your energy in some way. That you don't hide it away or minimize it. You know, Irish culture, we're really strong on that. Minimizing. You know? We don't encourage people to say how great they are or really be how great they are. Yeah. How we let ourselves really stand in our power. It all comes down to this kind of stuff. It's, you know, getting to know who we are and what we're made of, and then really embracing that.